be quiet. But what if silence isn't just about safety? It's about power. What if the noise in your life, in my life, and I'm talking about notifications, pings, constant alerts, is secretly draining you? What if turning off all those digital beeps was a core tool for flourishing? And what if the very recommendation you heard about always staying connected is indeed hurting you? That's what the quiet place teaches us, that making noise can cost your life. And what the amazing book of Flourish teaches you is to thrive, you need to declutter. For the first time, it was recommended, highly recommended, by one of my dearest friends in the world. And I did read that book cover to cover, and this was about 5 years ago, and it really made some very lasting impacts on me. This amazing horror movie, The Quiet Place, is basically about the idea that there are these nasty creatures that they hunt by sound. If they can hear your sound, you're entrapped, you're done. Silence is survival. And that's also a metaphor, right? In our mind, in our life, noise also invites danger, distraction, stress, and emptiness. Digital pings, just like those monsters, can really ruin our life, personal life and professional life. And when we silence them, you're basically reducing your mental danger zone. Flourish talks about a certain principle called PERMA. Every letter in that interesting term stands for another concept. P is for positive emotions, E is for engagement, R is for relationships, M is for meaning, and A is for accomplishments. And part of the book also talks about positive interventions, for which we need to declutter. And declutter is not necessarily just about our own personal space. Of course, it's very nice to keep our home or our offices as much clean and organized and neat as possible. But what about digital space, right? More than we realize, we are living in a digital world, and it's absolutely crucial to have the same discipline and approach that we have with our physical space in the digital space as well. These constant noise, whether it's from Facebook notification, whether it's from your emails, from your messages, from Telegram, from WhatsApp, from the news feed, whatever it is, they are creating this thing called cognitive load. And I just learned to think of our mind like a bathtub, right? The bathtub has a certain capacity for the water. You cannot over pour water into that bathtub once it's full. So that's why it's so important to be guardians of the entries of our mind. Constant interruptions degrade our attention and deepen our stress. Also, tying this to the amazing concept of flow and engagement, which Martin Seligman talks, deep work happens when we are safe from all of these constant distractions. And flow states require minimal distraction. Regarding emotional well-being, less noise equals more capacity for gratitude and connection. I don't want to leave you with some conceptual ideas. Rather, I want to provide some very practical tips. First, Turn off non-essential notifications, social media, email, news apps. Just turn them off all. Two, schedule silent windows, whether it's 30 minutes or 60-minute blocks. Create those silent windows with no devices. After reading that book, I think there is no exaggeration to argue that I turned off almost 90% of the notifications. Whether there are messages, I also kept my phone in the silent mode, whether there are emails, almost anything. You can use the do not disturb or airplane mode when you want to be fully present. You can replace noise with deliberate silence. That could be in the form of reading, taking a walk in the nature, or just reflecting, maybe with a journal. What if someone argues that if I turn off all of these notifications, I might miss something important? What about that? Well, the answer is that it's you who chooses which alerts matter. For example, certain calls or loved ones and family. And the rest can go for silence. Right? And maybe you're thinking that in our digital age, isn't staying connected indeed mandatory? Well, that might be true. However, connection doesn't require constant pinging, right? The point is that by turning off unnecessary notifications, you can respond on your terms. Isn't silence equal to loneliness? Not at all. In fact, it's the very opposite. Silence gives you space to deepen relationships, not to avoid them. Alright, so I already shared how in my personal life that has been very impactful. And I want to ask you, when in your day do you feel noise creeping in? And what is one thing that you could silence right now, right this very moment? I'm curious to learn your thoughts. Does this sound too much to you? Does this sound impractical to you? Or maybe you have indeed practiced this, at least to some degree in the past. Let me know. What do you think? Is silence a luxury or a necessity? If you turn off just one app's notification right now, right after this video, hopefully, fingers crossed, which application that could be? Thank you very much. Remember, quiet place is not about those monstrous creatures that can haunt us by the noise, but it's about our real life where we are always bombarded with these notifications. Shh.